Welcome back, racers, to another video on the channel. Yes, it's Gran Turismo, and yes, you are watching a couple of victory screens, but this is only because I lost my head and got my account reset, or a driver rating reset. That's when you have, or you accumulate so many penalties that the game goes, you know what, no, you're going back down. So we went from 53,000 driver rating all the way down to 15,000. Yes, fantastic. And in the C for the sportsmanship rating as well. So we went down to a BC. Very, very painful indeed. So I thought I would steal a page out of RibbZ's book and sort of do a redemption series, a little mini series showing how we got back from BC all the way up to A plus or SS or whatever it is. Just look at that, 50 wins. Hello, fantastic. So I thought a couple of videos showing how fast I am and winning against slower people could be quite fun. But as I was just driving around at the front of the grid, no battles, no excitement, none of that, this needed to happen. All eyes are on the Portuguese player in second. He is going to absolutely lose his head over the first lap of this race. Just noticing that in the bottom right hand corner there I switched from 1 to 6 on the fuel mix just while we're waiting, and then through the countdown until we actually go, because this is a fuel saving race and we need to save fuel at every possible opportunity throughout the race. So here we go, starting in first. As we count down, we have the number 7 car. Not that it really matters because we know that we are A plus material. That was sarcasm, it was sarcasm. I'm not a complete douche. As we go down into T1, then the Mustang firmly in the suck zone behind us. Around 2/10 separates us and him, as he's going to just throw it up the inside. Be really, really aggressive. Not going to give us the space. Actually going to hit us off. He then rightly gets a 3-second penalty, and that is where the rage and the red mist is just going to descend on the Portuguese player as he goes and he just hits me off again. Obviously I get the orange SR down coming into this tight right hand corner. He's going to go for the lunge. I'm going to sort of read it, but it's still going to slow me down like crazy. We find ourselves in 5th position. The Portuguese player then only having a 3-second penalty as we come into these sweeping fast left hand corners. Portuguese guy still angry, still not done with me there. Punts me off again. That's going to earn him another 3-second penalty, and that's going to put us all the way down to 10th place, getting a nice bump there from the Polish player. Sorry about getting in your way. Obviously I get another SR down, which is just ridiculous. Drive around me. Then looking ahead, looking forward, look at that Portuguese player again. Another punt. He's punted the green Lamborghini, unfortunately. Also G Green in front of us punted someone else into someone else and then threw them off. So he's got a 5-second penalty. I think old Portuguese boy up there has got 12 seconds of penalties. I think, no, it would be 9. He's got 9 seconds of penalties. But oh no, he's not done yet. Smashing into the Russian driver and then going for G Green again, getting himself a 2-second penalty for the hit on the Russian. We're going to try and go around the outside, which is just stupidity when we're racing against this Portuguese player. Hits me off again. That's probably going to get him another penalty. As you guessed it, as we come out here, we get another SR down. Like I could have avoided that contact whatsoever, as the German player kind of liked the look of my racing line, so tried to come across in front of me there for whatever reason. A little bit of contact, but we are in 13th position. Going up into 12th. Okay, that the Renault there just absolutely clueless. I knew he was going to come across there, so I just backed out and sort of let him around the outside. As we're coming on to the second lap, what an insane first lap. I can't believe it. I genuinely can't believe the madness that I just watched, but we've got a long way to go if we want to get anything out of this race. I'm also in the Ferrari as well. It's not the Meta car. The best car for this is the Lamborghini as we go past the Spanish player there, and we're going around the outside of the Renault. Can we make it stick, or is he just going to... I knew he was going to come out there a little bit, so I didn't want to push it around the outside. We'll overtake him at a different position. What I found myself doing is really focusing on when to overtake or when to not. I don't want to say it, but in these lower skilled lobbies, definitely in the lower SR lobbies, you don't really know what's going to happen or how they're going to drive. When you're in the higher lobbies, you kind of know how people are going to drive because that's kind of how you're supposed to drive. But in these kind of lobbies, it's kind of a crapshoot. They might defend, they might run you out wide, but you just don't know. So you've got to be really, really certain about when you're going to go for a move. As we're sitting in 10th now at the end of lap 2, and what the strategy is, we're just going to pit on lap 5 and then try and save some fuel. I kind of went into this race going, I'm just going to absolutely rev the tits off of this Ferrari, not really save much fuel, so we might have a couple of cars to battle through, and I'm still in that mentality right now. I'm not saving any fuel, I'm just driving it as fast as possible, which will hurt me come the end of the race because the less time in the pits means the more time on the track, and the more time on the track means you have a shorter race time at the end of the race. So in 9th place now, trying to get on the back of these cars in front. We've got a Spanish player and an Italian player. Not sure how they're going to defend. We are coming into this corner with a half a second gap to the driver behind, and he's just going to throw it up the inside, making contact. We're going to loop back, and he's flashing his lights at me like it's my problem. I get another SR down. He was half a second behind me. As the Spanish player just goes a little bit wide, we will take that position. But he was half a second behind me. He has no right to go for that move. Whether there's space there or not, he has no right to go for a half a second dive bomb and then flash his lights at me. Unbelievable. But you know what, whatever, that's just my opinion on the matter. If you've got a comment to make about that, obviously put it in the comments below. But you know, if we're battling, we're losing time to the cars in front. It's a 10-lap race. He can't, or shouldn't rather, be going for moves like that this early on in the race. Anyway, through the chicane of death we go. Will anything happen? Nice and easy then. The German just makes contact with the wall. That's going to lose him speed, and we're just going to sweep around the outside into the slipstream of the Italian. Coming into the final corner then, this is where David Perel says that most of the time is either won or lost on the track, as you can get a nice run out if you have all the angles and the acceleration points down to a T. But there you go, just a little bit of contact there, and we're up into 6th position as we come across the start finish line. Jumping forward and coming down into this tight right-hander then, the Russian is going to go defensive, and we're going to try and go for that cutback, braking a little bit earlier and hitting that late apex to get a nice run out on him there. He's going to try and fight it, but we are going to get in front of him there. I think he might just lift off. It's probably the clever thing to do. He's going to try and stick with me, but that's going to mix up his angle, and there we go. He's just going to drop back. Obviously made a little bit of contact with the wall. Yep, he's dead. He's gone. He's nearly 2 seconds behind. The best bit of advice I would give anyone when driving through the chicane of death is just give people space. Don't follow someone super close. One, it probably makes you a little bit more nervous and might make them nervous, so they might make an accident which will make you have an accident. Or it might be because you're so close to the car in front, it actually unsettles your own car, which makes it drive a little bit differently than what it would be if you were driving in clean air. Please, just give people space. There you go, bit of free information there. If you do want to pay for it though, there is the join button and you can become a channel member. So coming through the chicane of death on the next lap, what did we just say? Obviously trying to fight through the chicane of death, and the British guy there just going to kill himself. Murdered. Done. Chicane of death has claimed another victim as we come around to finish out lap number 5. So this is the lap that we will be pitting on. Our fuel not looking too bad. 21%, not too bad at all. The leader has gone in with 17%. So we have actually saved a little bit more than him, but in reality we should be going in with 30, 35, maybe 40% if we were really good at fuel saving. Coming out of the pits then, and we are in 12th place. Just Uncle Dave just breezes past us there, as obviously they're going to pit on the next lap for whatever reason. Nice and smooth through here, really trying to get on the power early as we come around that right-hander and sort of sweeping our way down here. Still short shifting, as we do have 5 laps left and only 4.6 laps of fuel remaining in the tank, so a little bit of fuel saving does need to be done over the next 5 laps. And I will take this time to say that I actually really enjoy this RibbZ this week. Usually I stay away from them because it's just sort of, oh, the fastest way to do it is this. Whether it's a no stopper, or you have to save fuel, or you have to save this, or you have to save whatever. But it seems like there's different strategies available. You could go with a car like the Porsche or the Megane and save fuel and just go for a no stopper, or you could go with the meta car, which is the Lamborghini Huracan, and just pit on lap 5, which is kind of what most people are doing because it's kind of that much faster. I don't know what's happening in the top split, in the fast splits, because obviously I I got reset. But in this lobby here, a lot of people going for the pit halfway through on lap 5 or lap 6. But I have seen a couple of people go with the Porsche Cayman, which I think someone does in this race as well. And that is capable of going quite quickly. It's got a very good race pace, but also it can go the whole race without having to stop for fuel as well. So the Cayman, pretty high on the list of cars that could do very, very well. We come over the line here. A couple of players coming out of the pits as well. And it seems we have made up a place somewhere, as we're in 5th place now with 7, 8, 9 and 10. So 4 laps to go to catch up with these guys. The Polish guy 4.5 seconds away. We've got quite a bit of work to do because we have to get past these cars in front, and then we have to get past the Polish guy if we catch up to him. So we really just need to get our heads down and have a good couple of solid laps to try and get us on the back of the cars in front, and then hopefully we can try and track down the Polish driver MB21210 in first place as well. So the chicane of death, what's going to happen here? The green Lamborghini is going to get a poor entrance, going to correct himself on the first apex and then put himself into the wall on the second. We're going to go past one, dodge another one as well. Old Len Boy Smith there. Len V Boy Smith. Okay, whatever, cool name. And that's it, we're up to 3rd, and we just have the Lexus in front of us here. Now, I thought the Lexus was very, very fast in a straight line. He must be short shifting, because I didn't think the Ferrari was this fast in a straight line, but obviously the Ferrari is, as we just sort of breeze past him there into 2nd place. And here it is. The hunt has begun. We have 2 laps to hunt down the Polish driver in 1st place. So we'll do a little bit of, let's do a lap guide, I guess. Well, a lap guide James standards. So it's not going to be perfect, but let me try my best. Flat through there, hitting the brakes as soon as you get onto the rumble strips on the outside, and trying to get on the power really, really early, trying to slide the car in there to get those wheels pointing in a straight line before you get on the power. Here, shifting down to 4th, just tapping it, letting the car coast and rotate on its own, and then early on the power. You want to be flat all the way up here. You do need to turn in just a little bit earlier than you might think when hitting those other apexes on the right and then the left. This corner can be taken 2 different ways. You can go narrow and accelerate out like this, or you can go a little bit wider like we did with the cutback earlier on in the race and get a flatter, straighter line out. It's up to you. I think they both work pretty similarly as you come through here. I like to just little lift just as we go in there. You see the acceleration bar, just feather the throttle through there, and then on the power as soon as we can to straight line it out of there. Not the cleanest exit from there, I will say, but we did get through without absolute 100% death. Then obviously the final corner. That's actually a very good line. A little bit wider, and then early. I say this all the time, but as early as you can on the power to get a nice run out of the corner. Obviously, go check out David Perel. He's an in real life racer. His tidbits and expertise are obviously much more valuable than mine, so I'm just reiterating what he says. He's got his own YouTube channel, so go check it out. He did a track guide for this track yesterday or the day before, so yeah, go check it out. I'll put the link of his YouTube channel in the description of this video, so yeah, go check it out. Give him a like, give him a subscribe, all that kind of jazz. As back with us, and back in this race, we are 3.3 seconds away from the leader, so we are closing in but not closing in quite enough. As actually, look at that. Look at the fastest lap. Who's there? Who's that? Who is that? Oh, it's the absolutely nut job Portuguese player. Just goes to show that he probably could be quite high up the field if he wasn't an absolute rage head. But it is his own fault that he is so far down the leaderboard. We've set a purple sector though, so we are going pretty fast on this lap. As we come around this corner, the Polish driver obviously made some kind of mistake there, because we've gained a second, it seems, out of nowhere. And 2.7 seconds now. Is the pressure getting to him? Are we going to see some kind of choke or bottle job from the Polish driver in front of us? 2.4 seconds, 2.3, 2.2, 2.1. Okay, so he made another mistake coming out of the chicane of death. Boy, oh boy, into the 1 seconds then, 1.9 seconds. Can we get a nice run out of this corner? It looks pretty good as we are into the 1.7s and we are catching. Fuel looks good as well, 19% left and 1.2 laps remaining. Means we can pretty much go all out on this last lap. Purple sector, there we go, fastest lap. Thank you, Mr. Portuguese man, but your time at the top is over. 1.6 seconds then coming into here in third gear, trying to keep the momentum through the first apex and then on the power as soon as possible coming into that second part of that tricky section. It did seem to me that he was faster through this section for whatever reason, but coming into here then on the brakes down to second gear, can we get a nice exit here? Not really. I went a little bit too narrow. Getting the tyres on that inside grass is just going to slow us down. Purple sector though, but obviously the Polish driver in front obviously setting purple as well. As we come through the sweeping S's climbing up this hill, he is going to get his angles just a little bit wrong, and that is going to give us an opportunity just to claw back a couple of tenths on him there. He was up at 2 seconds, so he did lose 3 tenths coming through that section. As we flash our lights, hopefully he's looking back at us, feeling the pressure. That might put him off just a little bit of a dirty tactic there, as he does go slow through there. We get on the power a little bit too early and we have to lift off coming out of there, which actually we could have taken a lot more time off of him there, but a little bit of a mistake from us. Through the chicane of death then, we get through nice and unscathed, a little bit wobbly on the exit, but he actually went through slower, so we are closing in down to 1.3 seconds as we come into the last corner. Will he make a mistake then as we come in heavy on the brakes? Gap is down to a second, under a second as we get on the power. Just a little bit too early and we're going to run wide onto the grass and that's going to be it. I think we were too far back regardless if we got a good exit out there or not. Well done MB21210, you deserved your victory there. You did enough to keep me at bay. One more lap though and I think I might have got you. But there we go, and let us not forget the absolute madness that happened on that first lap as we focus in on the Portuguese player here, who is actually going to find himself in 11th position. Even after having all of those penalties, he's going to finish in 11th. Shame on that guy, but that is going to give us a second place. I started the little session that I had on 15,000 driver rating, and after 5 races, so 3 race Bs and 2 race Cs, I am now up to 20,000 driver rating, so an increase of 5k as we look at the oh my god, what an absolute fall from grace. There we go, we are on the up, and this is just the beginning. We are going to get up to 60k driver rating. Just you watch. Thank you so much for watching, liking and subscribing. I hope you really enjoyed that madness in the video, and we'll see you in the next one.